This might be the fastest growing Instagram theme page that I've ever seen. The account is called Valorgy, and it grew from 0 to over 2 million followers in just 51 days. In fact, we can actually see from their Instagram story that they got their first 100,000 followers in just 11 days, their first 500,000 followers in 15 days, 1 million in 26 days, and like I said, 2 million followers in just 51 days. They now have over 2.9 million followers from just 106 posts, which means that they get around 27,000 followers per upload. So the big question is, how did they do it? Well, I analyzed every video on this page to figure out the reason for going viral. And this is where it gets interesting. It was not through luck. I found a new niche and framework that they use to get results like this, and it actually works. In fact, I found other pages using the exact same framework that are also getting millions of views, while most people in this niche struggle to crack 1,000 views. In this video, I will show you the 3-step framework, and I'll even show you how you can easily recreate videos like the one on Valorgy's account using a secret AI tool. You'll learn how to AI clone your voice or customize it so it sounds like this.
Men, there are 5 dangerous women you must avoid. I shall explain.
But before we get into any of that, we need to start with our first step, which is coming up with a name for our page. Valorgy is a perfect name because it sounds like valor, which means heroic courage and bravery. This motivational niche is traditionally flooded with crappy accounts that don't get views showing cars and crappy stock footage, so coming up with something that stands out is really important. To come up with our own version of a name like Valorgy, we can just come over to ChatGPT. I'm gonna ask it to give me 5 original words that sound cool and relate to motivation, bravery, and evolution. And here are the first few that they give us. If you don't like any of these, you can tell ChatGPT to just try again, and look, it actually came up with one that's called Valordon, which sounds pretty cool and is super motivational, so we're gonna go ahead and use that one. Our next step is to create some sleek-looking branding for the account. If we look at Valorgy, they have this simple black and gold logo with a crown. If we look at color psychology, black basically represents luxury and sophistication, and then the gold crown represents power and wealth. That's a pretty solid combo, but we want ours to be different so that people remember us. To come up with a logo, I'm just gonna come back into ChatGPT and ask it to create a simple logo for a brand called Valordon. I'm gonna tell it that the colors should be black and silver, and they should have a minimalist look to the logo.
Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
I'm not a huge fan of this, so let's ask to make the logo part a lion because lions are the king of the jungle. And boom. This is actually really sick. But I know that some of you might be thinking, well, isn't this too close to copying? Well, Steve Jobs wasn't lying when he said that good artists copy, but great artists steal. Because look, his first Apple iPod is just a copy of the Braun T3 Pocket Radio. The iMac is inspired by Braun's LE1, and iPhone's calculator is inspired by Braun's actual calculator. There's a thin line between copying and taking inspiration, and as long as you stay on this side of the line, then you're good. Speaking of copying, do you see this account? Because they also have 2.7 million followers from just 78 total posts. That comes out to about 34,000 followers per video that they've uploaded. If we look at their content,
One of the best mental health tips I've ever read. If you feel like you hate everyone, eat.
then we look back at Valorgy's content,
10 clear signs of maturity. 1. When you know the other person is lying, but you just smile and let it go.
we can see the similarities and that someone clearly read this quote by Steve Jobs. So now the fun part. I've studied every post on both of these accounts, and this is what I've found. First off, they use an incredible voice. And unless the owner has the deepest voice of all time, it's probably an AI voice, which I will show you how to find and use later in this video. Second, their content mostly uses inspirational quotes, short stories, and metaphors, along with B-roll images or background footage. Third, they have incredible thumbnails. And yes, you heard that right. Thumbnails are now very important on Instagram, and I'll show you why later in this video. But before we get into that, that takes us to our next step in our process, which is actually creating the content. And I know that a lot of you guys get lost when it comes to editing, but today is going to be different because I'm going to be showing you the easiest way to pump these kinds of videos out faster than ever before without having a fancy editing software or years of experience with editing. Now, of course, those would probably help out, but today I'm going to show you how we can come up with content like this.
A rich man looked through his window and saw a poor man picking something from his dustbin. He said, "Thank God I'm not poor."
using a simple AI tool that literally anyone can use. To do this, we're just going to come over to invideo AI. First, just sign in and you'll see this box where we can give our prompt for our script. But before you actually do that, let's come down here and make sure that we're selecting Instagram Reels. That way it gives us the video in a vertical format instead of a horizontal format. In this prompt box, we're gonna ask it to give us a 30 to 45 second famous quote or metaphor all about how life is motivational. Tell it to please include background footage that is relevant. And then where it says background, we're gonna put dramatic. We're gonna keep the language English for now, but I will show you how to change this later if you want to. And then I'm gonna select a male voice with an American accent because that's what Valorgy does. We're also gonna add some clean subtitles with an outline because that's what most popular accounts are doing these days. And then let's select use best audio available. And there, now click continue and generate video. While it's loading, it's gonna pop up with these selections and we wanna make sure that we choose motivational seekers for the audience, dramatic for the look and the feel, and of course, Instagram Reels for the platform. So let's see how this turned out.
If your journey feels like climbing a mountain, you're in the Hall of Growth. Imagine life as a potter's wheel. Each rotation, a new challenge, each touch, a defining moment.
So decent start, but to be honest, this isn't close to what we need to be like Valorgy. The biggest thing that I noticed in this is the voice. We need to change that immediately. To do this, we're gonna come in and go back to the main menu and then select voices. Then just click add voice. Now you have a couple options here. If you have a great narration voice like Valorgy's, or if you just want to use your own voice, you can do so easily. Just take a sample of your voice like this. Hi, my name is Dip and I coach people how to make money on social media. Then you can just upload it here. And this is how my voice sounds as AI. One of my students inside my school community reached 30 million accounts in his first month on Instagram. Now, personally, I don't really like my voice for this type of motivational account, so I'm gonna tell it to give me a deep Southern American accent so we can get it closer to something like Valorgy.
If your journey feels like climbing a mountain, you're in the Hall of Growth.
Great, so now that we have that part sorted, let me also show you how you can easily change the language if you wanted to. This little box right here is cool. It's called the magic box, and you can just ask it to change the language to Italian, let's say, in a matter of seconds. And this is what it came up with for us.
Se il tuo viaggio ti sembra come scalare una montagna, sei nella sala della crescita.
I'm not Da Vinci, so I'm gonna switch this back to English, but let's say that the background music feels like it's too loud for you. You can also ask this magic box to turn the volume down a little bit. And then one thing that's really important are the captions. Make sure that you ask it to centralize these captions because that's really important for retention. Basically, we want to keep our viewers' eyes right in the center of the screen so that they don't look away. Once you're happy with all that, we can come back in and edit anything out that you don't like yourself. So let's say that you want to change the script, just click edit and then edit script and begin customizing it. Or you can also change the background footage by clicking here and choosing some better scenes behind it. Oh, and I almost forgot, one very important thing that you can also do is ask this magic box to add a call to action at the end of the video. That way the ending says follow my account for more and the AI can populate this for us. Because yes, CTAs are very important. So here's what our full video looks like.
If your journey feels like climbing a mountain, you're in the Hall of Growth. Imagine life as a potter's wheel. Each rotation, a new challenge, each touch, a defining moment. As the wheel spins, the clay, much like ourselves, transforms. It's messy, unpredictable, but oh so beautiful. Follow me for more.
Now, you can come in and explore and try invideo AI for free, but if you're serious about video creation, you can just get a paid plan that starts at 20 bucks a month, which is the one that I have, and it'll remove all the watermarks for you and give you access to the voice cloning and the high quality stock footage. I dropped a link in the description and a code that'll also give you guys twice the amount of credits in your first month. Once you've created your content, then it's time to get to work and start posting. Again, I would copy, get inspired by some of the same hashtags that Valorgy uses in their videos. The reason that this works is because when you use hashtags and keywords like these, it helps viewers that are interested in searching for these kinds of terms to find your video. So for example, if I was feeling really lazy at home and I searched on Instagram for motivational quotes, we would want our video to be the one that appears first. I have tons of growth tricks and settings like this that I'll share in a future video, so make sure you're subscribed. But the big one that I'm gonna share today are that thumbnails have become really important on Instagram. Yes, you heard that right, thumbnails and Instagram. Traditionally, you probably think of YouTube when I say thumbnails, but Instagram is evolving, and hear me out. When you're scrolling on Instagram's Explore page, you decide to click in and watch videos based on the thumbnail of that video. If your thumbnail looks crappy, then no one is going to decide to watch it. Just look at the thumbnails from Valorgy. They're all themed and they give a preview of what the video is going to be about with this little quote here. If we look at other viral successful accounts, including this one that I own, the thumbnails all tell potential viewers what the video is going to be about so they know what to expect. I'll be doing a full detailed video on thumbnail psychology and how to create them in the future, as